Okay, this is Athena StarSeed. This is a StarSeed transmission. We are on 3/30/2020. Wow, those are some yummy numbers, right? So first, let's just go ahead and ground in. I think this is like, might be beginning of week 2 under, retreat mode. I don't want to use the other word. I want to say that we can experience this pause in our infinity as a retreat. And that's how I'm looking at this and I'm feeling through this. So as we breathe in 3 wonderful, slow, deep breaths, then I'm going to invite the angels. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men, let light return to earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men and women. May the Christ return to earth. In the center where the will of God is known, let the center guide the little wills of men and women, the center which the masters know and serve, and may it seal the door where darkness dwells. May the plan of love, light, and power restore heaven on earth. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Father Sky, and Mother Earth, from the point of light that connects us all. It's like a little flower, a little lotus flower. Please allow me to be a clear channel for the StarSeed transmissions for all involved, our ancestors, our humanity, and all of our sentient beings. Blessings of light. All right, we are in, and there are 2 main things that the channel wants to bring through. So I'm just going to breathe deep and I'm going to allow it. So if you have a candle lit at home, that would be wonderful. It's always nice to receive by candlelight. I read by candlelight because the fire has an auric transmission and the photonic energy does have uploadable capabilities so that you can actually receive easier. So it's more of a lubricant as a dial-up, depending on where you guys are all coming in. So candlelight and pen and some paper, so that when it's time, if you would like to take some action with your reception, when you take notes, sometimes it goes into the subconscious mind because the handwriting is linked. And then it's easier for it to go from the subconscious to the conscious to get into the action of the everyday, and then you can jump octaves easier. Okay, so that's just a little grounded way to look at the way I'm processing. So I'm going to go in, be right back. Children praying, children playing, children in the street, children praying, children playing, the pitter-patter of little feet, outside of a window close by to a heart door that's open to I love you. Children playing, children praying, constantly saying to the adults, I love you, I love you, I love you. Adults so busy, not understanding the sweet melody of the children's song, always playing, always praying, Come mommy, come daddy, come play, come everyone along. Children playing, children praying that adults wake up and remember why they came. These children are praying humanity is awakening from a pattern interrupt of where they were once taught to stay. As dogs off leashes, poetry releases that children's prayers were heard, and angels sang in choirs aloud like little chirping birds. Now birds are singing both day and night, not only in the dawn, for the dimensions are shifting as energies are blissing as we return home to our song. Messengers are sending notes on waves of love, played like beautiful sonic flutes of I love you. But as the children are playing and the children are praying, that this pattern interrupt wakes up the larger self in you. Larger self in you. No more rushing, no more hushing children's voices to come out and play. Because all humanity are children wanting to go back in and find their way. Holy moments like rain falling, wetting every single soul. Remembering why that children playing shows us all what next to do. No more waiting. No more waiting. No more waiting. Now is here. Children playing. Children praying. Children understanding their family reunion has come true. Souls are finding and souls are dining on new family dolphin pods. For all bloodlines connect as one river of mothers, holy divine. Finding star families, finding light life, finding love in trees. Breezes whisper, come here, mister. Stop your mistering and remember with ease. Space is expanding. Words ever standing until they dissolve in music's rhyme and turn into a flock of seagulls as purity becomes refined. Auras opening, rainbow bridges opening as we start turning on multicolored lights. The bridges we climb to go down in and unwind the God particle beyond all space and time. Children singing and children bringing a gift from every soul to bless this earth as her rebirth shows the golden age a new dawn. Things are changing. Things are rearranging. Things break down before they blossom into the spring. Allow what needs to die to go, and yes, cry and release the emotional karma of yesterday. To be present, we must honor every step along the way. not complaining. It's only draining when looking through the lower lenses of life's ego. But as we let go, ribbons open and start to comb in a new mosaic of a new kind. Spaces widen and thoughts dissolve. Souls expand and issues resolve. And purification blesses all that nest in the grace that resides within here at home. Home is the return to the aha. Home is the turn in to the aha. Home is the return to the in. In, the in that you're checking into, the in of the aha. Aha. Project, look within. Aha. Project, look within. Aha. Alice in your wonderland, glass that I spy and I see a new shiny day. Project, look within with your spyglass and find the light at last that will bless you with the knowingness of life contracts from where you begin. Project, look within in the looking glass of Alice's last test to see if all who say they are will take the time to rewind, to go within, to look and grin and find that every single thing is divine. 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 So bless a thing, to address a thing, to change it from what it is to love. So bless a thing, to address the thing, to transmute what it is back to love. So I picked a card here and it says family of light. Family of light. family of light. Ha! Just got brighter in here. I don't know if you guys saw that. Family of light. Family of light. So this is the family of light. The family of light shines now brighter than ever because we are extending our light bodies out to humanity. It's not just one or two people praying for the people in their family that have an issue. It's global prayers. Look at all these angels. See the angels in the corners? Family of light. Each and every one of you that's listening to this transmission right now has at least 4 angels on your 4 corners, if not 7 to 11 angels circling your aura, blessing you as your family of light. And they are ready and willing to do your bidding. So how can you hear them? How can they hear you? By cleaning up your light body, your light bridge, your chakras. So starting next week, they've given me the message to do a series, and each one, we're going to go through each chakra and we're going to clean out the base chakra. We're going to clean out the second chakra. We're going to clean out the third chakra and all the way up so that this can open and you can hear everything that's required of you so that you can be clear that your flows are open. And then what? Then you're just plugged in. You understand what to do every present moment through your breath. See that? Your breath has reception on it to hear the angels speak, to hear the angels sing. And when you're clear and clean and detoxified, this is the time to retreat, right? Detox, fast, breath work, sing, exercise, yoga, detox. Get yourself on your own retreat program based on your own intuition and take this time to clear out the rainbow bridge so that when you're plugged in to your family of light, everything's happening telepathically. Now, the reason why you hear birds here, or I hear birds here, is I am in the presence of 5D, as many breaths as I can remember to breathe 5D. So I hear less sirens every day. And I'm constantly pumping out more light and more yellow, gold, and sometimes green. And so each one of us can hear these angels helping us pump it through. Like we're like a Stargate portal where when we get ourselves clear, like a hollow tube of light, all these angels can pour through that heaven. See that the angels they're pouring down this like oversoul energy is pouring down into the physical body. And then the angels are helping orchestrate whatever the body, needs, requires to be its beingness in the most powerful form. And some of this is learning non-action. And that's challenging for a lot of us, right? Who have bodies that want to move around all the time, is to sit and to be still and to receive. Receive your messages. So when you hear, see, and know clear light, then you wake up and the action that you take is all inspired action. Every action comes from an inspiration, from an intuition, from the high heart wishing. It's not just to-do lists that is business as usual. We as a human race cannot go back to business as usual. We've come too far. We've come too far. We're here now. Family of light. We, the light workers on earth, on the ground level, have transcended familial love. which means we include loving our parents and the people that are our bloodlines. We also include our family of light, every being in this dimension, every sentient being in this hologram, right? When you know who you are, when you're clear and you've asked that question, who am I? When you know who you are, you know who everyone else is. And that is the conclusion you come to, is that everything is a family of light. All beings are the family of light. All viruses are the family of light. All shadows are included in the family of light. They're just different frequencies, further away from the epicenter of the allness, right? Which is the isness, which is the 0 point, right? The nothing. And in the no thing can everything bring anything it wants to create as you, and 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 you. Humanity. So this is a primary reason for the season. This sitting, humanity sitting. This is a global retreat for humanity. It's a sitting. It's a light sitting. This is what you call a light sitting. And the more we let go of our histories and our stories and our her stories and our his stories and our their stories and our narrative, when we let go of that, we can sit in that emptiness and have something new from the unknown be received. This is the time to let go of all of the stuff so we can sit and be the lightest version of ourselves. That's a light sitting. Every time you sit, you should be lighter and brighter, right? Every time you go in, you should come out a little different if you're doing what you're doing in the way that is enlightening. Enlighten, 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 in, light in, light in light, in light, in light, in light, in light. They tell me I can't even say that enough. I'm saying it. In light, in light, in light, in light. They want me to say it like 1,000,000 times. In light. No, they 1,000,000,000,000 times. In light. In light. Because when we're in light, we sit in light, we have the right reception. And then there are no questions after that. The questions end. They end in the heart, and then the heart just pulls itself forward in the breath of the present moment, and the fragrance is grace. I mean, that, like, they're showing me the most beautiful white rose, like unfolding and spinning and wafting out this white, beautiful fragrance of grace, like a white mist of hallelujah if it sang. I mean, it smells like roses. It smells like roses, white roses. The fragrance of white roses wrapping the planet to in light. And that pulls you up the dimensions. It pulls you right out of 3D. It pulls you right out of 3D, which is cause and effect, them versus me, differentiation. I mean, to get from 2 to 1, 2 hands praying, 2 beings playing, 2 voices saying, we can live in harmony, right? The 2 become 1. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to receive and call in as much light as possible every moment that we breathe that we can remember. Like I would love to share with you a technique, which is just like instant autopilot. So I believe that you can command this computer, this biocomputer that everybody gets, and you can put in programs by giving it a command. So let's just imagine that that's true. In our game of reality, let's say that's true for us if we believe it's true, like the placebo. Now, let's say based on our placebo effect, we understand we can program the body, and here's what we program. Every breath we take, we enlight to another octave. Every breath we take on autopilot, remembered or not remembered. In every present moment, we enlighten ourselves with every breath. Now let's just set that in motion. And there it is. Every breath constantly allows its body to open up and receive more light. Imagine 144,000 light workers breathing in light and jumping octaves on every breath, and then pumping out that light wattage globally, and then allowing humanity to catch a wave of light. And then the birds are singing everywhere, day and night, everywhere, which is always here in the present now. Right? So like I can just say, okay, there's a freckle on my wrist. That's my watch. I turn up the freckle and I say, it's now. A freckle's a dot. It's now. What time is it? Oh, let me look at my freckle. Now. Because now is all there is. Now is all there is. So, we're probably going to make this a little shorter tonight. However, I do feel that next week, those of you who are ready, or if you want to share this with somebody that would like to receive, I'm going to go through one chakra at a time, and we're going to clear it out so that everything is as open as possible. And this is our reality. So I'm going to open it up here. JP, did you have any questions or comments for what was received this eve?
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. My heart feels so full. And I just started giggling when I started hearing the birds. I mean, just incredible. But I do want to share something for anybody listening. And it's, you already, you know this so well, Athena. And, but I listened to this beautiful soundbite from Carolyn Mays, I believe yesterday. And she was talking about the power of prayer. And when we're talking about inlight, it made me think of this because at the very end of her talking about whatever she was bringing to the table for that day, she was reminded of one of the most powerful stories of her, of a woman she shared a car ride with after a conference who had a near-death experience. And she and Caroline, I think, had just given a talk on the power of prayer. I'm not quite sure, so I might be off a little bit. However, the point is, this woman, whole body was smashed, and she had a near-death experience where she was above the cars, and she could hear the cacophony of sounds, like the people complaining that they would be late. You know, why did this have to happen to me? Blah blah blah. And then she saw this unbelievable, powerful ray of light coming from a different car, blasting her. And she wanted to remember the license plate. So somehow she just took a photograph of the license plate. She survived, and she found that woman who was praying for her in the car, and that was the light, the in light, that brought her back to life, or what, you get it. And she heard from her angels or her guides, like, you must go back, you must go back. But in her experience, she saw the power of light, and she saw the power of someone holding profound light for her. It was amazing. And she went and she gave that woman flowers and thanked her. And anyway, I just thought that was so powerful, considering what we're all going through. And when I'm getting a lot of beautiful calls, and I feel so grateful to be able to help and support. And I believe every moment's a prayer, every thought's a prayer. And so people often can put prayer outside of themselves and have no idea how powerful just that innocence of that woman sitting in her car, and however whatever words, whatever thoughts, she was shining the brightest light on that soul. And that's our power in these moments. So I've just been collecting all the beautiful videos of prayers, singing, and pushing them out and sharing them, because we need to be reminded of that inlight that you brought up, our inlight.
I love that you also talked about the prayers, because they were sending me little ascended masters. Ascended masters come in forms of children. I don't know how many people know that, but there's a ton of ascended masters walking around the planet, and they're in the little ones. And so I heard the children outside my window when the channel started, and they were playing, and they started streaming to me the information.
I love that.
And I thought, how interesting. I've lived here for almost 3.5 years. I have not heard children out my window playing.
Incredible.
Do you know what I'm saying? And at dusk and dark. Now, how many times have you and I said, when we were kids, we used to play until like 9 o'clock at night, and they'd have to come in, you'd have to come in, it's get dark out, right?
Totally. Never wanted to come in.
We never wanted to come in, right? But it's a different time. I haven't seen that for 30 years. Right? It hasn't happened until now.
Right.
And the birds, literally, the birds are still singing. It's dark out. You can hear the birds.
Yep. Oh no, I can. I just started laughing because I've had this experience with you where you called upon the butterflies before. So, it's par for the course. But it is amazing. And you're right. They do come out. When I go to Central Park, they're holographic. They're just so alive, and the squirrels and the trees and the flowers. Yep. Pretty amazing.
So the light coming out of the car is real.
Yes.
It's a very real thing. It's a very real phenomenon. Anyone listening to this, just imagine if you hear a siren, or if something happens in an accident, you have the power to send a tube of light up and dispatch a tube of light down, and it is an energy transfer. The people do feel it. I've gotten the same feedback with other people who had been, I think it was a honeymoon couple, and on their honeymoon they were driving and they got in an accident, and one prayed for the other, and they died, but they came back and they saw the prayers going up, and they confirmed what you just said. They confirmed it. No, so because we can hear that story that you just said, it's very important, then we can take action in our own lives and apply that light. And what does that do? That also cleans out your light channels for this to happen. When we pray for others as ourselves, as our others, as ourselves, we understand that we're just one big prayer, like you said. And that enlightens the field, and then you have more reception to actually take action on the little whispers. Oh wow, say a prayer now, or call somebody right now, or maybe look up right now, look up, boom, you look up and there it is.
Actually, so
exactly what you need is right there.
Yes, and actually I'm really grateful this was so organic, because I want to actually say, if you can continue this conversation of prayer, because respectfully and with the greatest of love, being in New York, and I'm so honored to be here. I feel like I'm here on purpose and for all those reasons. And I do hear from a range of beautiful souls, how do I articulate it? Anyway, the questioning of how to pray, and and what if this person is getting in the way of all these different things, and just to very boldly put up an offering for one of my dear friends. There was somebody who was a very severe case in Boston who was 3 weeks on ICU in a coma, came out of the coma. I believe he was held. I came to this story late, but the parts that I know, was a pretty severe case in Boston. And after 3 weeks, he came out of the coma, which was to many a miracle. He's still in ICU and on life support, and he still needs prayers. But there's still a lot
baby, hold on 1 second. Sweetheart, I'm in the middle of a call. Can I come out in a minute?
I need something out of there.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry to stop you in the middle of this. I have a little master calling.
Flashlight.
It's not in here.
Yes, it is. It's right there.
Okay, you're gonna have to. Thank you.
It's not in here.
All right, so I'm sorry. You were saying that they needed some prayers because they were in ICU,
yes.
and so you want to do that right now?
Well, what I wanted to say is this: I want to, in all of your conversations, I would just love for the reminder, the remembrance, the encouragement of our technology and our ability, just like the light coming out of the thing, because this is what's happening. He's helping us remember our power just as much as we can help him. Like, this is all for us, in all the situations. And for all of us light workers, for everybody's putting out prayers, but they're questioning how to do it, or am I doing it right? Or is it going to help? All those things that you can hear. And so I just want to encourage everybody that it is real and it does work, and this is it. And this is the time to use our power and to remember. I really do believe that every thought is sacred. And so it doesn't have to be in this moment or in that moment, but whatever works for everybody, it does work. However, if you can address that, I just want to implore you to address that every single time, the power of prayer, because that's what will really shift so much if we can all deepen into our heart center and remember that it's not just the doctors, and it's not all, they're so extraordinarily important. All of us, though, are important, and all of us are important to the story of healing. And we are just as powerful sitting in our homes praying and shooting that light up to the globe as much as, you get it. And so if you could just every single time just help us remember.
So I want to refer people to a couple different things, because I'd like to incorporate both people that actually use prayer as a tool and already know that it's there, and people that may not have. So there's a book called Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
It talks about the science behind that. Yes. And so I feel that those of you who are a little more in the left hemisphere, if you buy that book, you'll see the science behind what we're saying. Now, if you're on the right hemisphere and you've connected to the heart already, what I want to remind everyone is that being in your highest mind and your highest frequency and your high heart is the best prayer, is the best prayer. And then when you have your focused attention and awareness on the planet, the virus, what I would say is, just for the virus in general, just to help the planet, is love the virus.
Yes.
When we love the virus, that's our prayer. So,
yes.
So as a person who used to be in a wheelchair and is not in a wheelchair, I didn't pray to get out of the wheelchair. I didn't pray to God get me out of this wheelchair. I didn't pray that. I said, thank you that I'm running a marathon.
Yes.
I saw myself healed, whole, holy, and complete, and I thanked that which was. So the prayer is almost a gratitude song of a crescendo into more light of joy, and then you just focus that on where you want it to go. You know what I'm saying? So for example, your finances, your health, your emotions, your country, your planetary system, your galaxy, your universe, and your multiverse. And when we send out that light, visualize you like a little candle increasing wattage and photonic energy exponentially in 360 degrees multidimensionally, and that which will heat changes molecular structure. So of course the virus, even the coronavirus, goes away when the weather changes. As soon as the sun comes out, the virus dies. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Heat changes things. It changes it like a chord. Like my guitar is changed in the heat of the sun. So when we turn up our heat by praying,
the greatest thermodynamics.
The greatest thermodynamics, right? And that's why, let's just go back to let's ground this in. Exercise is the origin of changing the thermodynamics. As soon as you start to break a sweat, you change your body temperature. You get heat. Boom. You get the fire in the furnace burning. That is why yoga is a science. It heats up the Sushumna, the spinal column, which feeds the light body, which are all the chakras that plug in. Once that light turns on, that spinal column light, the chakras open with light, and it blows out the disease. Now, with that being said, let's also too accept that death is life and life is death, and praying for somebody to not get their lessons or leave later when they're supposed to leave now, that's not the highest prayer.
Correct.
The highest prayer is, may we all use every one of our abilities, remember our soul purpose and activate it, and become enlightened. And when those things are present, you get to be flowing like a river. You can't stand in a river twice. You can't stand in a soul twice. The soul is constantly evolving. The soul is changing. And the soul changes through the death process. We all will walk into our own mortality, into our immortality, to our mortality, to our immortality, until we're immortal, like Babaji. So pray that we pass our tests and that we receive grace.
Yes.
So I wasn't healed the moment I was diagnosed. That wouldn't have served me.
Correct. Right.
So let the virus be loved for healing all the people to all the level of their emotional freedom, their spiritual freedom. That is also God.
And that's loving humanity. It's all of it. Yes.
It's all of it. And that's where we come back to the circle. There is no not Godness. Sickness and health are isness.
Yes.
And seen and unseen are parts of the I am. Masculine and feminine, inside and outside. A bubble that has a circular circumference and the space within the bubble. And then when the bubble pops, those are states of consciousness. Soul realization, self-realization, God realization. We are all responsible to wake up into the breath of God. And so as we do that, we will receive more information on why what is still perfect the way it is. Bless it all.
Bless it all. Yes.
Bless it all. And that takes the pressure off to trying to change other people. Off to trying to change what is. If we can allow what is and not have to change it, we can bless it and love it. And that prayer expands into the infinite field of light. And that light does shift the scenery. The picture does change when the lights come on. It gets brighter, right? You can see more clearly when it's brighter out. So let us all go through our diseases to heal us, to squeegee our third eye so we can see more clearly. Let's all see clearly through the adversity so that we can remember who we are. Infinite light and love.
Yes.
What a blessing this is. What an extraordinary time we're in.
Amazing. That shift also too for people, I know that this happened for me before, but in the sense of understanding that prayer is in the present moment versus perhaps how we were raised or taught where it's outside of us, but Yeah, that's so
So
perfect.
there's only the present moment.
Correct.
There is no other moment. So that's why if you bless the moment, you don't have to say, I'm not happy with this moment, make it that moment in the future moment, when they're healed moment.
It's all
They're
right
healed
now.
now. Thank you
Right
for
now.
their healing. They're healed now. And it doesn't matter, like Ramana Maharishi, he transitioned with cancer as his out door. But this is what I'm saying. Like, was that because he couldn't heal himself? No. Healing is not what we think it is. You see what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that we extend a mortal life to like 300. You know what I'm saying? Or not ever experience another condition. The healing is from the consciousness where the light accepts everything as perfect in the present.
Ah, gorgeous. Yes.
And so from that field of I love you, there is nothing wrong with any present moment. Now, who has to have the paradigm shift? Obviously, the person with the disease has to have that shift because they got to look at it from down here. And that's not easy. And I come from a wheelchair. So I did this and I did this. So I can do this.
Yes.
So with that being said, yes, we have an effect. The best effect is the present effect with our own vibration as the generator of the hologram. If I can just clean my house, the world will get cleaned.
Love it.
So that's why when I say thank you for the retreat, coronavirus 19, 1 and 9 is a 10, which is a 1. Yep. Starting from the beginning, going to the center, we're not running around doing activism, are we? I think we got orders to go home and sit in, not go out there and try to change out there the world. And there's so many, for millennia, there have been so many organizations to go to try to change everybody else, right?
Right.
Now it's time to return to the one and just change this one. And if this one changes this one, because I'll know how to change it the best because I'm this one, that one will change that one, which is this one, and this one, and this one, times 8 billion this ones. Everyone has their own way in. And that's why at some level of the evolution, you do have to take responsibility and drop your crutches or your training wheels and get into your own religion.
Yes.
What is your own ritual? How do you find your way in? Every person that is a person has their own way in.
Yes.
And religions are signposts that say, you're probably going to like this a lot more. And you go that way, you know, those of us that were Catholic love the ritual and the pageantry, you know, the actors, the poets, the ritual. It was the drama of the mass, right? And other people are like more like nature, like Emerson. You know what I'm saying? And some people are more like the Kabbalah, and some people are more like, you know, every single different religion. Whatever it is, that's their oh, this is the way I like to receive my data. And then at some point you got to go in and you got to go even deeper and deeper and deeper until it's just you and God. It's just you and God. At some point it's just you and God. There's no middleman. So if God is already there and God hasn't gone anywhere and humanity got a big timeout to go in, everybody will go in for their own reasons. Disease, divorce, finances, the banking system shutting down, what's happening with the government. Wow, I think everybody's like, they're like, how many reasons can we put? Let's put a reason for everybody. Let's make sure everybody goes in. So we have to have this many reasons for everybody to stop and go in. And I think we got it all, right? I think everybody's pretty much in.
Yep.
Isn't the whole planet in?
We're in.
We're in. We're in. Thank you to the angels. You got us to go in.
Like we're in our own we're our own astronauts, but internauts.
Right. The Argonauts of the inner knot. That's right. And you have to undo the inner knot. And that is so beautiful right now that we have this allowance, right? Right now, I just found out that the governor of California said you cannot evict people for the next 3 months. I just called my utility. I called my utility companies and they said that it's illegal to turn off the utilities, right? And so basically, I only have to do two main things. One, raise my daughter reverence, which is my highest joy. And two, field some phone calls from clients that I can do from my computer. Other than that, I get to just be in.
Woo!
Woo!
Amazing. Woo!
Right?
Yes.
And because of this wonderful opportunity to be in, the government in most countries are paying people to stay in. So you're going to get a little check in the mail and you can fill out unemployment and then you can stay in. And once you stay in long enough, guess what happens? You get your orders, you know what to do, you go online, and by the time everybody's out again, everybody's got their life contract in their consciousness, and they can serve it back to the world, and they can all play together with their global light family.
Woo! So amazing. What a time.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. It is.
So we're rebirthing the earth. We're rebirthing ourselves. We're redesigning our light bodies, one light body at a time. And we won't even know what that looks like, except it's just going to be brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and more beautiful. I mean, right now, could you ever even imagine before? I mean, somebody must have imagined because it's happening, but like people getting checks from the government and you could stay home and you, in the present moment, you're staying home and getting paid for the government to sit down and meditate.
It's a really good Monty Python movie. We're in that black portal drinking coffee.
Yes, yes. And cocoa. I'm having my raw cacao with my black strap molasses. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I feel we're complete and this was so juicy and I love you so much. Thank you for your feedback of conscious prayer and sending out light. That's so important. And thank you so much for acknowledging that the birds are singing and things are changing. And thank you so much for holding the light in New York City as I'm on the West Coast, you're on the East Coast. The lighthouses are starting to beam all over the planet. And I just want to say thank you for also too sharing this call with so many of your beautiful lightworker friends. And I am inviting everybody listening to this right now to subscribe to this channel and to jump on the Monday calls for the transmissions, because next Monday we're going to start going from chakra to chakra, clearing it all out and allowing this incubation to really be over in the next 8 weeks.
That is amazing.
Why 8 weeks? Why? Because we can, if we all get it, we can. Now listen, I'm okay with 18 months. If people want to take their time, I don't mind sitting. I'm fine. I can sit as long as possible. I can sit in a cave. I don't have to come out at all. However, I do love to play with you guys, and I would love to come out as soon as everybody's ready to play again a really high game of love.
Yes, high game of love.
High game of love. Okay, so this is Athena StarSeed. Thank you so much, JP, for joining us. These are StarSeed transmissions. Remember to be a child and play, and every breath is a prayer to pray, and that this is a time to go in, clean out your light body, and receive your messages from all of your angels and your guides, and be on purpose, the purpose that you chose to live this lifetime. Blessings and light. Until another night, this is Athena StarSeed saying, stay tuned. Blessings.